Let me introduce our panelist here for this one. Kim Pressel, the director of the Midlands Kiddie Corral. Holly Bamford Hunt with Graduate Tacoma and the Bamford Foundation. And Wendy Castillo, who's a parent and a community advocate here in the Tacoma area. I wanted to start with this question about early learning. One of the things that I've learned a little bit about early learning is the fact that early learning is much earlier than I might have thought before. What's your view of when early learning really needs to begin and when kids need to be engaged?
I think the kids are engaged in the home since they are little kids, but in a formal school would be like 3 years. But I think we're working like parents every day with our kids to be learning a different language.
I would say, and I'm just thinking of the First Five Fundamentals Coalition, and I think certainly from a community point of view, it's really important to recognize parents as children's first and most important lifelong teachers. And with that, it really is important. This children, from the moment they're born, and really even prenatally, their development, they are scientists, they're learning, they are experimenting, and so we as parents and we as a community can be supporting early learning from before birth by supporting parents.
We also believe that parents are the #1 teachers of children, but we also understand that in this community we have to work. So we become the second people in place to be able to educate children. And I think just in the last few years, even our legislators and our government have begun to understand that there's a huge piece, that birth to 5, that was being missed before. So now as a child care center, we're not just babysitting, we are actually trying to educate the children.
What does success look like? I mean, if we've rolled out those interventions and we're doing what we need to be doing as a community to help that population, what does it look like to say, oh, this is working well, or this is success, or I can see evidence of this, in a child's progress?
We really want to acknowledge the, as I said before, that yes, we are supporting parents as children's first teachers, but we also, just the whole notion of it takes a village. I mean, really, as a whole community, we need to be holding up our children and ensuring their success. And so there are a lot of ways that we can do that and work together in terms of sharing information and making sure that children and their families have access to the resources they need to feel successful.
By example, where am I from? We have the customer to do not only like for example, when the teachers is the report of the teacher is with one parent or with 2 parents. That is good. But where am I from? We make like assemblies with all the parents in the school. So it's one day in the school when are all the parents talking about some issues.
How do we make an impact on people outside this tight-knit community to persuade or convince them that yes, it is indeed a community-wide issue?
I think there's a lot of that to be said. I mean, just in terms of listening, building trust with making sure that everybody's listening to each other, schools and community childcare, and communicating. There's education, I think, to be done with the small and large business community, and if you're talking about investing in early learning, it is important to tell the story and make sure that everyone is aware of how important it is to be supporting our families with young children and young children from birth, and that if we can provide them a great start, then there's going to be a lot less spending later on in terms of other kinds of interventions.
Anything we've left out that's important to say?
I want to say in the 30 years that I've been doing childcare, the last 5 to 10 have been the most exciting. Seeing the changes, seeing the commitment to the early education, seeing the commitment to helping parents, even though we understand they have to go to work, most of them have to go to work, and they need somebody that they can trust and we can connect with.
I like to be really short and direct. So thank you very much first for the invitation. I really appreciate it. How I say here, if the kids have early learning, so increase the graduate range. So that would be good. So directly for our representatives and for the business guys. So sometimes they want our vote. So if you want our vote, so please invest in early learning because this helping our community.